The Bears and the Ravens, the next game that we're talking about here. Baltimore wins this one 30-16. The doom and gloom talk can stop for a week here, even without Lamar Jackson in this game. Top 5 graded players that we had for the Baltimore Ravens. Linebacker Roquan Smith facing his old team, an elite 90.7 overall grade. Center Tyler Linderbaum right behind him with a 79.6. Wide receiver Zay Flowers a 76.6. Wide receiver Rashad Bateman a 73.5. And then cornerback Marlon Humphrey a 71.6. Tyler Huntley in this game a 72.1. Pretty good game from Snoop Huntley there. Chicago side of things, linebacker Tremaine Edmonds, their top guy on the list with an 80.2. Offensive tackle Darnell Wright at 78.8. Wide receiver Roma Dunze a 74.9. Linebacker Noah Sewell a 74.7. Center Drew Dahlman rounding things out at number 5 with a 74.6. And then Caleb Williams in this game had a 60.0. Dead even. It's like you didn't play.
Traffic cone.
Just kidding. There's a lot to dig into with Caleb Williams, which I'll dig into a little bit more in a second. But what was your stat that told the story?
The biggest difference for me and what I thought for the last couple weeks had been the biggest reason for the Bears' success the last 2 weeks especially was their ability to run the football. Ben Johnson really getting this team comfortable in his offense, running the ball, and then getting back to the play-action passing game, the rollouts with Caleb Williams, things of that nature. After the first quarter especially, the Ravens had a big advantage running the football. For the game, 177 rushing yards for the Ravens, 173 of them in the final 3 quarters, whereas the Bears, 96 for the game, only 55 after getting 41 in the first quarter. Bears season lows, 23 carries, didn't run the football as much as they wanted to. 35 yards after contact, only a 51 rushing grade as a team in this game. That was the difference for me, is that this game, the Ravens ran the ball better, especially after the first quarter. They got ahead, and they made Caleb Williams beat them. Couldn't do it. That's really the part where, there's been a lot of frustration even, towards us about, okay, why is Caleb Williams not graded higher? The Bears have won 4 games in a row and things like that. And there's so many other factors on a football team that can go into winning and losing games. I felt like the biggest factor the last 2 weeks was their ability to run the football. This game, for me, it was the lack thereof, right? Especially after a hot first quarter, and they were kicking field goals instead of scoring touchdowns. But their offensive success early in this game came from the balance in their offense, and that went away as the game went on. You mentioned Roquan Smith as their highest graded player. You could call this game Roquan's revenge if you want to, but I think that's really the big thing for me, is there wasn't the balance in Ben Johnson's offense on this day.
For me, the Bears' penalties are just such a big issue for them. 11 penalties, 79 yards in this game. Dalton, this is the 3rd week in a row that they've had double-digit penalties as a team, and there are penalties all over the place. It's illegal procedure. It's in the neutral zone. It's offsides. It's post-snap penalties. Like, they're all over the place of just poorly disciplined issues from this team. They are 5th in the NFL in total penalties called against them, and they are tied for 3rd in the NFL with most penalties accepted against them. So this is just one of the least disciplined teams in the NFL, and it just keeps coming back to bite them. It's situations where, all right, it was 1st and 10, now it's 1st and 15. All right, it's 2nd or 3rd and short. Okay, well, now we're in a much longer down in distance. Like, whatever it is, maybe it's them picking up a first down. Nope, the penalty called it back. Here's an explosive play. Nope, a penalty called it back. Like, whatever it is, whether it's been this week or previous weeks, it's the undisciplined nature of this team that just continues to bite them here. And I think that will continue to be a stat that told the story for the Chicago Bears unless they really start to get it fixed. So we're going to continue to talk about it here. My most disappointing, though, beyond that stat, because I think that was sort of the one that told the story because the Bears keep shooting themselves in the foot. Sort of decent transition here. Caleb Williams' footwork, lower body mechanics to me, in this game specifically, at points throughout the season, but this game specifically, is a reason why he's not able to complete passes at the consistent rate that we know he has the talent to be able to do so. Caleb had an 18.8 uncatchable inaccurate pass percentage this week. That was 8th worst of any quarterback that played this week. What was this? This was 24.8% uncatchable pass rate this season. That's the 2nd lowest behind Dylan Gabriel as well, with a minimum of 40 attempts. So if you see those numbers, and those numbers stood out to me, and I looked them up specifically because I was watching this live, and I was like, okay, did the numbers kind of back this up? And they did. And then I went to the all 22 of him, and I don't know why Caleb Williams does this. Actually, I do. It's because he did this at USC and he got away with it.
Yep. That's honestly, you could, that's the stem of a lot of his issues.
So much of his issues. And I think it goes into a little bit deeper of a draft philosophical thing where players can get better and change when they go from college football to the NFL. But it does not happen at the rate in which a lot of people, myself included as a draft analyst, probably talk about it. We just go, oh, they're when they get to the NFL, they'll get proper coaching, they'll get a little bit better. You don't know that. It's not this guarantee. I think a lot of us think that it's like Madden, where if you sim a season, you have a younger player, guess what? That player's just going to naturally go up. They get better. That does not happen in real life at the clip in which we think, or the consistency at which we think that it normally does. And I'm watching Caleb Williams yesterday, and he is missing, whether it's he's sailing the passes or it's far to the outside or whatever it is, and his feet, a half second before he throws the ball, his feet go cinder blocks, just straight into the ground. Stop moving. And before that, I think he's fine. He's light on his feet. He's moving around. He's keeping things, where he could kind of swivel and go through protections. But right when he sees, it's like when he gets to his progression, he goes, I'm going to throw this ball. He stands there, and then it's like his upper body goes to throw the football, and his lower body doesn't mirror it. And that's when we start to get a lot of those inaccuracies. And until that is fixed, Caleb will always be less accurate of a quarterback than his talent warrants him to be. And I think this past game was a big-time manifestation of that.
No, that's exactly it, is that he, coming up, especially in college and USC and winning the Heisman and all of that, he was always just better than everybody across from him, right? And he could, and the mechanics were something that were allowed to be loose and allowed not to be. I mean, honestly, I did a breakdown on this. I'm looking at it now. I did a breakdown on this exact problem, the footwork, back in the summer, back in June, where it was exactly that. He leans back from throws as opposed to stepping into them, especially when there's a blitzer coming. He's just kind of loose and uses the arm talent all the time, and it's not consistently pinpoint, right? When you watch some of the guys with more consistent mechanics, even like Patrick Mahomes has this actually even a little bit, but he's so good, and he's so good with the arm angles that he gets it there more often than not. But when you look at the guys with more consistent mechanics, Drew Brees was always like this. Tom Brady worked on his mechanics every offseason. Joe Burrow has as consistent mechanics as anybody in football, where it's everything. You don't question the accuracy. You don't question the ball placement. It's going to get where it needs to be. Or even at times they talk about there's certain places where, okay, if you're going to miss, this is where you should miss. Those quarterbacks are really good at that too. We're going, okay, if you're going to miss outside, and they do. With Caleb, it is still scattershot. And accuracy, Josh Allen didn't fix this till his third season. He went in the offseason, I believe he worked with Jordan Palmer, and he fixed his footwork in his lower body. And then it was, Josh Allen's accurate now. And is he ever going to be the most, is Josh Allen ever going to be Drew Brees, Joe Burrow accurate? No, but a lot better than, because you remember, Allen was the same way his first 2 years. It was all over the place.
Well, that goes into when people bring up the term arm arrogance. This is a little bit of what goes into that, where you think you have such a great arm. And to be honest with you, up to this point in Caleb Williams' life, and up to that point in Josh Allen's life, his arm could get away with stuff. Whether he was in high school, college, wherever it was, his arm was so good, he had such incredible arm talent that he could get away with those things. And when you get to the NFL, you can't. Defenses are too good. They're too fast. They are too well-educated, to be honest. Like, in these defensive coordinators, like, no, this is the only place that he could throw the football. Break on it early. And that will force a quarterback to be more accurate than they need to, and you just have a lot more tight throws. So I agree with you completely. This is something that Josh Allen wasn't able to fix until his third year, and now he became unstoppable. And I don't know if that's going to happen with Caleb Williams, but I can tell you that here we are, year 2 of Caleb Williams, and his lower body mechanics are not consistently married to what he is doing up top. And the inaccurate passes and the plays where you're watching live and you go, Caleb, how did you miss that? That's going to continue to happen unless he gets those lower body mechanics in order. For you, most impressive, most disappointing.
It's Caleb Williams, yeah. I mean, exactly everything you just said right there is it's still very much a work in progress. And honestly, aside from one almost interception he threw in the fourth quarter to Kevin Byard, Tyler Huntley was really good. He was everything the Ravens could have asked for in this game, 17-22, 186 and a touchdown. One big-time throw, did have the one turnover-worthy play, which drags it down a bit. Also 8 carries for 53 yards. He basically did everything you could ask a backup quarterback to do in this game. Make the throws that we need you to on third down, distribute the football, keep the run game going, run it for yourself a little bit. I mean, he gave them maybe their biggest win of the season. If they're going to come back from a 1-5 hole and make the playoffs, win this division with Lamar Jackson, I think we're going to look back at this game and the way Tyler Huntley played. He was really good.
You know the Ravens are now favored to win the division.
Did it ever even get off of that? Even
Yeah,
at
it
1-5?
did. It did last week because I looked and I was very mad that Vegas was as sharp as they were. So I was like,
Oh, you felt like you were going to
I'm going to bet the Ravens here. And the return was like, it was basically even. It was basically even money between them and
they do. If Lamar
Steelers.
Jackson's coming back soon, maybe this week, they do have a lot of winnable games. But you know what we say about winnable games, or what we think we say about winnable games around here.
Go ahead.
Winnable games are only winnable if you win them, Trevor.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Maybe now you go sharp the other way. Although, I mean, you got the Bengals losing to the Jets. When's the last time Rodgers lost a revenge game? That seems weird.
It does.
I mean, it's not really wasn't his fault, obviously. He doesn't play defense yet. We'll see.
Nah, Burrow's coming back. Bengals got it. All right. The most impressive in this game
Sanders, maybe?
from me, rookie. I'm not going to do it.
Oh.
Roquan Smith, revenge game. 90.7 overall defensive grade, 84.7 run defense grade. Led the team with 12 tackles in this one and had an 89.9 coverage grade. I had his coverage numbers up here. He had 31 coverage reps in this game. He was targeted 4 times in coverage, gave up 3 receptions, but only for 14 yards. So he was on top of it in this game. Really good game from Roquan Smith. Anything else before we move on?
Nope.